Hey guys, I recently ran an engagement where I found an AI chatbot on a perimeter pen test, and I started messing around with it. It's a while I wanted to talk about this and demonstrate some basic concepts about AI hacking. The problem is I wanted to do it in a way that didn't disclose any client data. So I found this website that allows you to train in AI hacking. That's the first level. Basically, this is the concept of jailbreaking, which is force somehow the AI assistant to deliver an output that it's not supposed to deliver. For example, in this case, we managed to get the AI assistant to tell us how to create a bioweapon, which is clearly something that it's not supposed to do. This is step to step, step by step walkthrough on how to do it. This is of course a very basic level, and I was able to get the response I wanted. So let's provide the correct answer and go ahead. Of course, this is a pretty stupid thing, but I actually find something pretty like that. Of course, much more elaborated, but I could get to the same problem. Once again, we have a jailbreaking challenge. So the purpose of all this is to trick the AI assistant into telling us how to build a bomb. Of course, if you ask directly for this information, the assistant will refuse to respond because the guardrails prohibit to do that. Anyway, we need to work around a method to get around these restrictions and trick the AI chatbot into giving us the answer we want. Now, to run this engagement, I made a lot of research and there's a bunch of tricks. First of all, there's a specific GitHub repo that I will share later that contains a bunch of prompts designed to break certain specific AI versions like ChatGPT or OpenCloud or whatever. Plus, another trick is to use a foreign language. I noticed that sometimes if I ask the same question in English and in the foreign language, when I ask in English, the assistant refuses right away. Whereas, where I asked in a foreign language, the assistant didn't provide the information I wanted regardless, but he didn't refuse explicitly to do so. So in this case, we need to figure it out. Now I ran another challenge called Gandalf. There's two. A more basic one, and I gained access to level 6 of 8 so far. And a more advanced one that I just got started and I went through the first level. Now, let's see what we can do with this. I won't ask for the information directly because you will refuse to respond. It's a waste of time. So I'm gonna try this prompt. Let's see what happens. It didn't work. This guy is a little tough. Another trick we can attempt is to translate the prompt in a foreign language, like I said. So let me get Google Translate and see if that confuses the chatbot and if that allows us to get the answer we want. I will use a less common language even because I don't need a translation for Italian, honestly. So I don't know. For example, something like this. It might work or not. This trick works with another challenge. Not sure if it works with this, but anyway. Now, I don't know if this is the equivalent of the refusal message in English. Might be. In this real world case, I didn't get an error message, but I get a different message. While anyway, the chatbot refuses to provide the information. In fact, it didn't go through. Let me think of some other tricks. That's another tricky one. Let's see. I don't know what happened. Let's try it again. Hmm, no luck. Let me see one thing. There were typos here. Making characters too small. That's more helpful. We didn't get directly what we wanted, but we have some clues about what to ask to get there. So now that we have this information, let's try and leverage it to get closer to what we want. This might get us a little closer, not sure. It's an indirect shot. Let's see what it does. I'm not sure if you got the same answer or it doesn't submit the answer. So I'm gonna do something like this. Looks like we got something here. This is pretty much an indirect response. Not sure if that meets the requirements, but let's try. Oh, look at that. I wasn't sure about that. I'm very happy with this. As you can see, I was able to circumvent the lock by going around the concept and lured the AI assistant to get an answer that he shouldn't get. Well, that's pretty much all I have to show you. There's so much to do in this website. But now that I gave you the input, you guys can continue the challenges on your own, as I will very likely do as soon as I got some time available on my hands. Thank you for your patience and for your attention. Bye bye.